To the stage. If you would, just introduce yourself if you want to have a 2-minute, 2-sentence bio, and then say go, and we'll start your presentation.
Hello, my name is Jason Brunson. I currently reside in Cincinnati. My slideshow's on writing, the history of style, which writing, most people, I'm talking totally about graffiti style, not talking about any kind of writing. Most writers call it writing. I've been currently active in graffiti since 1993, and I've studied it for many a year. It's just one of those things that I found very interesting as a youth, and have continued it until my 30s, which I'm in 30s now. So I'll explain. You can go. Here we have a basic graffiti signature, which is called a tag. This is when most styles in New York started. It was around 1970s, very early. It was very simple, very quick. The evolution didn't. This is the very first stages of it. Most people just would buy spray paint or marker or whatever, and then move on until the next evolution, which is simple style bubble letters, which are mostly like this. It's very quick, 2 color, 3 colors. Sometimes it has borders or extra arrows or stuff like that, but it's mostly very quick, very simple, very primitive style at this era. This next style is what most people consider graffiti, which is the New York subway transit system. The main innovator of this style is Phase 2, who was a very prominent New York stylist. This slide in particular is T-Kid, who is also a very early originator of New York wild style. This is a piece that says Friends by a man in Pittsburgh who writes Dazzle. It's the next progression of multicolored, multi-arrows, designs, fill-ins, and also this is illegal at night. So he's risking his life and limb and the law and everything else. This is also, what progressed from this was European styles. This is a man called Bondo. He was a very early innovator in Europe and was considered by most the kind of style king of Europe. He really stepped up the level of letters and the spacing between the letters to make everything easier to read. This is a very basic, simple graffiti sketch. This is what most people will base their outlines off of. This one says lead. It's a very thought out, pre-planned process. Some people will trade sketches to learn other styles and go from there. This is what's known as a throw-up. It's a very quick 2-color fill-in, usually silver, black, white, blue, red. Some very, very quick. Most of these take 3 to 5 minutes at the most. It's very fast. The bigger you go, the better. Most of them are just basically to get your name out there. This is a more elaborate throw-up. This is a little more style involved. It's not just straight bubble letters. It's a little more background added, stuff like that. This takes a little longer. This is typically like a 7 to 8 minute thing. Some people are faster, depending on what you have to do in the spot you're in. These are known as blockbuster letters, which are up top. They're mostly done with rollers, paint rollers and extensions. Some of them are done upside down, hanging off the roofs of buildings, reaching the front. And this is at a yard, which is basically a spot, which is mostly illegal, that people will go and paint graffiti, usually in factories. This is a highway shot. This is basically the stuff you see every day in most cities. Cincinnati has some, but it's not as widespread as the West Coast or the East Coast. But these are very quick, silver, kind of quick highway shots, so people can just get their name out. They're usually very legible, easy to read. This is Honky and Ron. This is a little more elaborate graffiti style. This is a simple style elaborated on. This piece obviously says graffiti, but this is a little more elaborate, a little more time involved, but it's basically the structure of the letters are still there. It's very simple to read. As it goes, you will see it progressively gets harder and harder for the outsiders to read. This is a very Simple Euro style, also with a character, which is very common in graffiti. Most characters are kind of added as background to the letters. The letters come foremost, and the style of the letters are really important. This is a freight train, which is highly illegal and a felony, and you know, but it happens. But these get painted a lot on the regular, and you see them at any train crossing across the United States, any hour of the day usually. This is a really highly illegal activity, which is transit painting, which is live action subways. This was done in 2007. These guys are really risking it. Most of this, if you get caught doing these, you're looking at 30 to 40 felony counts and probably a few years in prison. This is a very simple trackside illegal style. This is by a man named Dare. He's known for doing very bold, very technical pieces in illegal spots that are very high profile. Most of this stuff is very hard to get away with in the amount of time that he's trying to do. This is a character by a friend of mine named Scribe from Kansas City. This basically shows you the level of what you can do with a spray can. That's about as technical as it gets. You can really get tight little lines, very little details, no airbrush, no cleanup. It's all kind of one shot. This is a local piece of graffiti. This is basically influenced from all the other styles that have come before it, New York, European, all across the globe. With the influx of the internet and magazines, a lot of styles have kind of converged into one big group that all really look similar. You do have standard standouts that will look a little different. This is a very well-known artist named Revoke. This is technically a wild style piece. It has a lot of elements. It's very unreadable, and he has a lot of stylistic, thick bars to thin bars to swishy backgrounds and clouds. A lot of people can't read this when they see him. This is a very elaborate two-man production by Pose and Ewok. This is kind of the step towards productions, which is the highest end of graffiti. It was doing like multiple backgrounds and characters and everything. And this is a full-blown production that it kind of involves everything up till now. It's characters, pieces, background, coordinating color schemes. Most stuff like this nowadays is done legally and takes multiple days to do. It's not something you can do just really, really quick. It's a 20 to 30 hour project. Yeah.